Hi, welcome back. So we started seeing all topics as part of DevOps tools training. So as I stated a couple of times, we have our GitHub ID, Cloud and Loud. For this DevOps tools training, stick to DevOps underscore tools underscore training repository. For this class, stick to class 13 folder. There is a slave integration.txt. So in this class, what we are going to discuss is how we can offload the task from Jenkins master. Okay, so till now we have discussed this is the Jenkins server. This is the Jenkins server. So whenever I am a developer, so whenever I changed the code or I created a code, if I push, as soon as I push to SCM, source code management, since I configured with Jenkins CI server, automatically it will detect the change, it will start compile, it will start build, and it will create a package. And then as per the pipeline, it will start do all the tasks, deployment, as well as storing into the Artifactory and alerting it to Slack and send a notification, everything. So now if we are discussing only one task, one pipeline, just imagine in production per day or per hour there will be a huge number of tasks, say 100 tasks, 100 pipelines has to be executed, right? You cannot overload the Jenkins server, right? So whenever there is a pipeline related to that pipeline, it has to offload. The relevant task should not happen in Jenkins master. It has to run on some slave machines, right? So in this case, the Jenkins server will be freed up and will have better control, right? So the slave, how do we configure the slave machines? How do we ensure whenever there is a pipeline triggered, the task should not do anything in the Jenkins machine, right? So all the process has to be executed here, and then the result only has to feed back to Jenkins master. So this is exactly we are going to discuss as part of this class. Let's go first to discuss what all we need to do this hands-on. Okay, as I said, we need a Google Cloud, or if you have any other cloud, it's fine, or your laptop is high-end laptop, well and good. So all we need is we need one Jenkins machine, right? So Jenkins machine, one VM, right? And also one more Linux machine. So you can say this is slave one. So the Jenkins machine has to be configured as part of the class 6 and class 7 installation. And you need to test one single pipeline. So if this works, then Jenkins machine is ready. And also you can create one more Linux machine, which is called slave one. And we can integrate with Jenkins, and we can offload some task to slave one and test how this works. Okay, so let's go and see how I configured. So I have Jenkins machine, I have slave one machine, both are CentOS machine, right? So let's go inside. So go here. So install configure Jenkins on master. So let us open this because I created bare metal Linux machine. I haven't installed anything in that machine, which I'm going to install in front of you so that you can revisit the exercise. So Jenkins installation.txt, come down. First, we will install the prerequisites, Java, Maven, and then configure the environment variables. Let's copy this. This is my Jenkins machine. Let's increase the font. So let's paste it. So as per this command, it will install Java, wget package, ntp package, git package, vim package, as well as the EPL repository package. So all this package, once it's installed, we will configure the environment variables as per the exercise. Let's wait for a few seconds. So we have installed. So the last step, Apache Maven. Then we are going to configure the environment variables. Let's go there and open up the base_profile to configure the environment variables. So I'm copying this, as I said in the class 6. So paste everything before export path so that everything will be configured properly. And then I don't want to log off and log in. So let's go and run source, right? So that the environment variable will be load. If you want, you can confirm it. Yes, it got load. See here, m2_home, everything is loaded. Now come back. If you want to check, you can check. Of course, it will work because we are seeing the environment variable is properly configured. Come down. Mission doesn't know where to download the Jenkins software package. So we are configuring the Jenkins repo. And also before we install, we will configure the keys. So it got installed. Now you install Jenkins. So let us install Jenkins. These are all we covered in class 6, but as part of this, I'm just repeating it so that you can get some good refresh. So we have installed. Now we can start the service, persistent start across reboots, and also check the service status. Yes, it's running. Come down. So what is the Jenkins server IP address? Go back here. This is the Jenkins server IP address. Copy this, paste it, :8080. Copy this, come back and say duplicate and paste it. So this means the first time login, we need to retrieve the password from this file, which we seen in class 6, right? So got this, take this password and open up in console, which will unlock your further install process. So I'm going with default suggested plugins, because during the deep dive after this fresher training, we will go and configure one by one manually, which will give you a in-depth understanding on how this works. So it's getting installed, all the common plugins. Let's wait for a few seconds. So once this is completed, then you need to set up the username and password. Yes. After that, we are going to configure the slave machine and we will test the pipeline. So we will go with the username Cloud and Loud. Password is 12345. 12345. As I said couple of times, during any of your learning, give very simple password. You are not trying to prove anything, you are just learning. So go with always very easy password which you remember. So here I am giving Cloud and Loud and say mail ID. Okay, and then you can say save and continue, save and finish, start using Jenkins. All right. So the first step we have discussed about configuring the environment variables in Jenkins. So manage Jenkins, go to global tool configuration, click JDK, and I don't want to install automatically because I may need to configure multiple Java version, right? So as of now, this is the version we have configured. So go back here. What is the Java home? User lib JVM Java 1.8.0, give the same, and then come down. JIT is configured, and Maven. What is the Maven version? You can go here MVN-version, so that you can take this 3.5.4. This is the home. Take this and install automatically. I don't want, so give it. So here you can configure Maven 3.5.4. Come down, say save. So we are good to go the initial level. Now go back to the actual this class step, slave integration. So step 1, create user in Linux machine. But before going to this Linux machine, you need to configure couple of things, right? So create user. So we are going to install couple of packages. This is my slave one. I'm just increasing the font size. So wget and git, and then add the create the user, but create the user with a same home directory. But in your project or different projects, make sure what is your functional user ID, you are going to use it for this DevOps purpose. The same user ID, if you can populate, that will be easy. That is a more recommended one. So go here. I am adding the user ID with the similar home directory workspace. If you want, you can verify. Okay, so etc password, you can verify. Yes, it got created. Now set the Jenkins password. As I said, go with a very simple password. I am setting CNL 1 2 3 4 5, right? CNL 1 2 3 4 5, right? And then come down. We need to install a couple of things to make sure the slave machine also have all the compile build, won't have any issues, right? So we are going with the same in slave machines. Let's wait for a few seconds, because instead of running the compile build all this in Jenkins master server, we are planning to do this in slave machine, right? So let's wait for a few seconds. So the slave machine can be a small configuration machine. Even you lost slave machine also, you don't have any problem, because as long as Jenkins master is alive, you can easily manage the environment. So we are going with Vim etc profile and come down. So you need to configure this, because in slave machine, better configure all environment variables according to any user. So better go with etc profile. So it will be applicable for everybody. Come down. If you want, you can source it so that right away your environment variables will be loaded. If you want to verify, you can verify it. Yes, see here, these are all loaded. Now come down. We need to exchange the SSH keys. But as I said in a previous class also, if you are using cloud machines, make sure the SSH authentication is enabled using keys or using password, right? So I'm using Google Cloud. So definitely the SSH is not enabled. So I'm going to enable it. What is the file? etc/ssh/sshd_config file. So copy this file, go here, say vi, paste it, and come down. There is a password_authentication file. Password_authentication file parameter. So comment it out and remove the comment out. Say escape wq, and the same here. Say come down, password authentication. So come down. Password authentication, yes. So bounce the SSHD service. Either you use the systemctl command or service command. Service SSHD restart. So here also you can use systemctl restart, right? SSHD. Okay. So now we will proceed. So what is the slave machine name? Slave one, right? So log in first, go to your Jenkins machine. I am into Jenkins machine. Log in as a Jenkins user. Yes, I am in now Jenkins. See the user. Yes, Jenkins. Now, first you create the SSH keys, right? SSH keygen, enter it. Yes, created. Now, if you want, you can open up and see the keys are created. Yes, got created now. And then use the SSH-copy-id command to copy the SSH keys to slave one. Slave one is the machine name of the slave 1. So say yes first time. So what is the password we given? CNL 1 2 3 4 5. Enter it. So now you test it. SSH slave 1. You should not ask password. Good to go. So exit it. Come down. So SSH slave 1 also we are able to log in without password. So now as part of step 4, we need to add slave node. But before that, we install Jenkins, but we need to add the some of the plugins, right? So go to manage plugins. These are all we covered in class 6. So go to available. Okay, what are the plugins? Dashboard view. Copy this and say search it. So dashboard view. So click the dashboard view. And what is the other plugin? Build pipeline. Click build pipeline. Enter it. So build pipeline also we are deploying it, and deploy to container. Click this and say deploy to container. Come down. So I am going to install it, all these plugins. So what will happen is we will test one simple pipeline, but not the compile build should happen in Jenkins server, correct? Go to dashboard. Now as part of this step, we need to add slave node, right? So go to Jenkins, go to manage Jenkins, right? Come down. There is a manage nodes and clouds. Say click this option, right? Right now there is a master only. So here there is a new node. So click new node, right? So you can name it as slave 1, right? And say permanent agent, say okay. So you need to configure a couple of things. So description, you can give anything. This machine, sorry, this slave machine will be used for all dev related application builds. So like this. So each slave machine you can assign some role or some job description, right? So number of executors, I want only one, because this is for learning. In production, based on the slave machine capacity, you can increase it, because as of now in my lab, the slave machine configuration is 1 CPU, 512 MB RAM, right? So go here, remote root directory, go to the steps. Remote root directory normally is going to be your home directory. It is advisable. Go here and copy paste, and labels. So while creating a pipeline, you can mention this slave 1, say label. You can call this machine either using the name as well as label also. Okay, and use this node as much as possible. Here also you can set the priority. Okay, only build jobs with the label expression matching this node, right? Otherwise what will happen is all the build will go here, right? So use this node as much as possible, and launch agent by connecting it to the master. Go here, I clearly mentioned launch agent via execution, right? So we will go with this option, right? Launch command. What is the launch command? I don't know what is the launch command. I am a really beginner, right? Click this and you will get everything is here. So it's clearly saying copy agent dot can be downloaded. So go back to the step, right? So in the slave machine, okay, log in as a Jenkins. Okay, log in as a Jenkins. Okay, where I am in my home directory. In this, go here and right click, copy link address. So this IP address can be different. See, this is my previous IP address, but as of now, this IP address will be different. wget, this IP address will be different every time, because it is the machine name, Jenkins machine server IP address, right? So agent.jar has been downloaded. Now go to management. This is what we did. We are adding this, and remote root directory var lib Jenkins, and launch method also we have given, and The another parameter, launch command. What is the launch command? I don't know what is the launch command, right? Right. As I said, I'm a fresher, right? Copy this, right? There is a dot. So ignore the dot in each line. So paste it in one notepad. What is your host name? Slave one. From Jenkins machine, you are trying to log in using the Java. What is the directory you paste it? The Jenkins user ID. So this means directly where lib Jenkins will be covered as part of this home directory symbol. So you need to remove this, or else you need to place this /bin directory. But we have downloaded directly only. Instead of this, you can mention like this. So, okay, both are same. Var lib /Jenkins/. So either this also same, or you can put simple tilt will cover your home directory. So copy this and go here and say paste it. Okay, and then save it. And here you can say configure, just verify everything is fine, and click and say node. See, it got online. There is no error. That means everything is fine. So click this. Everything is fine. There is no issue, right? If you have any issue, that means whatever the configuration parameter you given, go to configure and make sure you have given the right parameters, right? You should not give any the red color symbol here, right? So you have to have, there should not be any error here symbol, right? Which means you are good to go. So now go back to the dashboard, right? And what is the other step? Test the slave machine. So test the slave machine means this is what. So go to manage Jenkins, go to manage nodes. You should not see any red color symbol. Means the slave node not added properly. Okay, now it's not showing. That means we are good. So go back to the step, create a new pipeline. Okay, click this and new item, and I am going to say offload my build, my app build, or whatever you give some meaningful pipeline name. Say Maven project. Say okay. So in this case, you can define how many discard vote builds, because you need to define, right? How much days or how much maximum, because each and every var file, the size is matter, right? So you can configure it here. Come down the JIT. So you need to give some small application repository, which we already know this is the our testing purpose application repository Java, right? Come down. Go above, restrict where this project can be run. You can force click this and say slave one, right? You can select this machine. If you have multiple slave machine, this particular pipeline, you define, you control where has to be executed, correct? So let's clear out, say save. Now I'm going to do a manual trigger, but if you enable polling, then you need to go and create one sample test file in the application repository, which will technically the developer is doing some changes. So CAs will deduct the changes, start the compile and build using the slave machine help, right? So say build now, wait for it. Go to the logs and see where this all running. So slave, so building remotely. See here, this word previous classes you will not seen, right? You haven't seen, because everything is happened in the same Jenkins master server. Right now the everything is happening in the other machine, this machine. So I'll go back here. See, previously you triggered all the pipelines which happened in the same Jenkins master, and then deployed into Tomcat, and then from here you deployed into your Artifactory. From here it deployed, sent the notification to Slack, everywhere, right? So, but now you just triggered. This is the actual controller. This is the actual manager. This is the actual program manager, right? So he said he delegated the work in slave one. Actually, it's happening in this machine. Let's go back and check the logs. Come down. There's a huge log. Come down. See, there is a success. So previous classes we have seen, copy this and check in your Jenkins machine whether you have this file. With this will prove yourself where this got executed, right? ls ltrh. See, there is nothing, but the process, the task has been successful. So we need to find out where this task executed, right? Either you can snoop it or where log messages, or you can easily understand like this. Sorry, you have to give a space. There is a typo mistake. So go here, say, see here. Remember, this is a slave one. We are seeing this file in slave one, not in Jenkins master. This is the easiest way you can separate this, right? So you need to understand a couple of things, because production, definitely you need to offload all pipeline tasks not in Jenkins master to the slave node. Even we will do the similar exercise, but not with the physical server, with the direct EC2 cloud, right? So stay tuned. We'll come with more exercise. Thanks for everyone.